What I'm about to tell you isn't even the full story, but only bits and pieces of the main point. My name is Arlet Rodriguez, and I was born in the year 2000. I am a targeted individual and neuroweapon victim who was subjected to human trafficking and torture by an organized crime ring involving police in the state of California during the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, while residing in Anaheim, California, I became the target of repeated cyber intrusions. My accounts and devices were hacked, leading to the loss of my digital identity in what appeared to be a deliberate act of character assassination. Living in a mobile home without the means to afford proper security, I was isolated, drugged in my sleep, raped unconsciously, and experimented on with covert mind control technologies. My face was also burned with directed energy weapons. In public, I was frequently followed by white vans, men in black suits, and the local police. There were signs of multiracial cooperation as well. For instance, a Hispanic man tipping his cowboy hat at me from his vehicle, an armed Hispanic man attempting to remain concealed just a few moments before a gleeful policeman took me to the metro station to take me back home, or African American men and women visibly emotional and in tears. These events align with what is commonly referred to as gang stalking, a term the U.S. government associates with delusion, paranoia, or mental illness, pathologizing the victim and diluting credibility through language. I was taken to a motel near the city of Los Angeles around the time my mother reported me missing. During this period, I observed an armed adult black male individual with dreads and a law enforcement vehicle parked in the motel's lot, where apparent exchanges were being made. During the timeline of another missing persons report, I witnessed a white adult male who appeared to be an agent, identifiable by an earpiece and dressed in black clothing, casually walking out of a convenience store with what appeared to be a normal purchased snack item. Subsequently, I was transported to a trailer by a Hispanic male who tried to convince me into smoking meth, an act I understood intended to manipulate narrative control and facilitate framing. I refused. During this interaction, the man referenced the name Daniela and attempted to transport me to what he claimed would be San Francisco, California. I refused to enter the vehicle that was waiting and was instead taken to Beverly Hills Park in a van by a different Hispanic male. Shortly thereafter, law enforcement personnel provided obscured information to my mother, claiming I was hearing voices, a statement I know I never made on any platform, in any location, or to any individual. I was subsequently handcuffed and involuntarily committed to a psychiatric facility where I remained institutionalized for about a month. This wasn't the last time I was institutionalized. On multiple occasions, I was forcibly placed in rehabilitation centers and at one point nearly sent to a homeless shelter at the direction of a social security worker. On a separate occasion, a different social security worker admitted to being a former gang member but demonstrated active involvement through his actions, most notably by attempting to have me hospitalized. I disclosed this information to my attending physician, who found my account credible, leading to my release. During this timeline, I was consistently followed by a black Mustang. Not long afterwards, while I was conducting my own local investigation, I was forcibly taken to a clandestine and unlawful rehabilitation center in Jalisco, Mexico for 11 months, where several of the perpetrators embedded themselves to reassert control and attempted to frame my mother as a human trafficker. The farmland operated under extremely harsh, restrictive, and coercive conditions designed to break down autonomy and enforce compliance. I repeatedly requested permission to speak with someone from the state, but each time my request was denied, I was met with humiliation and mockery. While detained, I witnessed disturbing protocols and abuses. Here I witnessed compliant sex workers who had taken refuge within the rehabilitation center, instead choosing to dance or expose themselves in exchange for small rewards, such as pieces of candy. In these annexes, residents were being subjected to severe maltreatment, including being tied up, doused with cold buckets of water, and forced to endure mental abuse. I also observed the forced construction of a false spiritual identity imposed on residents, a complete lack of hygienic, basic supplies and items such as toilet paper, insufficient meals and nutrition, and blatant disregard for health and safety regulations. Children were being groomed and raised under the control of padrinos, sponsors or overseers. Most concerning, I noted a widespread psychological deterioration among residents, marked by signs consistent with the development of Stockholm Syndrome. Many so-called rehabilitation centers in Mexico have become safe havens for criminals seeking to avoid prison time. There, they rebuild their lives and surround themselves with others like them, where they can attain their sense of belonging in exchange for the justice the world deserves. After I would speak out against the abuses occurring both within and beyond the facility during my tribune behind a podium, the only opportunity residents were permitted to use their voices and make direct eye contact, the so-called mentors barred me from getting on the platform again in what appeared to be a retaliatory act intended to silence further disclosure. In these annexos, female residents were only allowed to speak with their assigned madrinas, godmothers or sponsors, and padrinos. Initially, I was assigned to a former prostitute and drug addict, but was later placed under the supervision of a live-in overseer who openly admitted to killing people during her tribune and referred to themselves as the mafia. Although I made multiple requests to speak with her, I was only allowed to do so once. I eventually managed to free myself from their front organizations, but I remain a victim of neuromonitoring and related abuses. Voice to School is a covert military technology that can read thoughts, transmit auditory communication, and manipulate body parts via electromagnetic and microwave radiation. This works hand in hand with remote neuromonitoring, as in my case, which is used to see through the victim's eyes and hear through the victim's ears. This technology is used through massive state surveillance, sexual exploitation, and expansion of control. On July 24, 2025, President Donald Trump issued an executive order titled Ending Crime and Disorder on American Streets, which directs states to criminalize individuals experiencing homelessness and involuntarily treat people who are considered to have mental disabilities. Now is a critical time to prioritize the safety and rights of vulnerable populations who may be at risk of exploitation or extermination. I continue to fight for justice and the privacy of my own mind to this day, hoping to leave behind a lasting and resonant message. My ongoing investigation and research focus on transnational organized crime and disparate criminal networks. I'm cognizant that I was not only trafficked in my young adult years, but also as a child. My past is marked by a spectrum of targeting experiences, including but not limited to gang stalking in Tijuana, Mexico around the age of 10, debilitating headaches and unexplained physical pain at 11, and the hijacking of my Maple Story account at 12. By 13, I was enduring the compounded effects of sustained trauma, abuse, and social isolation, along with what I initially dismissed as imagined abduction. The severity of my circumstances led to my withdrawal from traditional schooling and subsequent enrollment in charter and online education. At 18, I briefly encountered what I would later identify as voice-to-school auditory communication. The FBI has always had access to this information, yet it deliberately constructs a social reality that keeps only a select few informed, individuals who are made to believe they are above the rest. And if the thought of being surveilled through neuromonitored victims terrifies you, I sincerely hope you understand that the children I worked with at the Boys and Girls Club for 6 months in 2024 to 2025 clearly weren't. Please let the truth of who the criminals behind this technology are, not to terrorize, but to inform and educate with critical thinking. Thank you.
Hello, CIA is going to be a CIA, and the CIA is going to be a CIA, and the CIA is going to be a CIA. Así va a ser la cosa, que nadie te va a decir la verdad, nadie te va a decir la verdad. Ya No, I won't tell them anything, and I will tell them that you are going to the CIA, and the CIA is going to the CIA, and the CIA is going to the CIA.
Hello, CIA. Give me something to work with. FB is going to the CIA, and the CIA is going to the CIA, and the CIA is going to the CIA. No wasabo, si pa 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 pi pu pa 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 pa. Ti 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 pi pi pi. Si pa li li li. Yai yai yai. Ti. Yai. No petra pi po pa. Li tap. Yep. This is my next attempt. I'm going to keep telepathically communicating to them to reveal to me information. So this is going to be the response. No vas a morir, vas a morir, aburrir, aburrir, aburrir. Y ay, no te van a decir nada porque nadie te quiere decir la verdad. Y pa, si, pa. Sí, nadie te quiere decir la verdad porque nadie te va a decir la verdad y nadie te va a decir la verdad porque nadie te va a decir la verdad. Yip, 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 pa, 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 pa. Yip, 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 yip. I'm just having fun. This is what they're saying. Hi, I am the CIA, and the CIA is going to 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 the CIA. Give me names. This is what I said. Hey, wow, 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 wow. They're quiet now, and now they're not saying anything. Hey, yo soy Immanuel. CIA is going to the FBI, and the FBI is going to the CIA, and the CIA is going to the CIA, and the FBI is going to the FBI, and the FBI is going to the CIA, and the SCI, ICE. Y hay una CIA, en la CIA, en la CIA, en la CIA. Ahora dicen ICE, ahora dicen ICE, ahora dicen ICE. Now they're just repeating what I'm thinking. So, very original.